We're here.
We
So
made it.
the glares so much.
No, man, I moved this room around. I spent all this time and moved everything around in this room, and I'm like, I like this. This is a cool setup. And then we get to we got a few minutes, to get on here and everything. I never thought to test it out to see if there's any lighting issues, So like here, I don't have enough time to change things around. So then we get on here, and then now I see all this glare like coming down. I'm like, oh great, perfect.
Oh
Yeah.
well, no big
Yeah,
deal.
oh well. Yeah,
So
yeah, no big deal. I guess I should have put a hat on or something though. At least it would have been a little bit almost as bad as you, like without having a hat. It
mine's been like
glare.
that for a long time though. So
Well, mine's by choice though, so
yeah,
I
there you
shave
go.
mine.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
So how's it going?
It's going. Welcome everybody to Paranormal Chat Lost Lives Radio Network, and it's yeah we're the it's like almost 50 degrees here today, and then I get messages coming through that saying there's a winter weather advisory out until like Thursday night at 6 because we're supposed
Oh
to get maybe more
man.
snow. But like yeah, it's incredible. It's like okay, it's 50 degrees and now it's gonna snow. So uh,
God, it's supposed to rain like over here, like heavy rain, and then I think like Thursday night, I think it's supposed to get some snow, but I don't think it's supposed to be like a whole lot. Not are you guys going to get quite a bit?
now they were saying something like maybe 1 to 3, but I think most of it's going to be north of us. Um,
Yeah, well, that's
so
good at least.
so I went out and picked up some lumber tonight because that way I could start doing some work in the garage. Where as I mentioned, well, I don't know if I even mentioned it last week, but I mentioned when we did Unity Day, we're going to build a house out at Ashmore, and it's gonna and Ashley Burgoon, who's been helping me out there, is going to move out there,
Hmm.
and then so we're building this house, and I get restless, and I'm like, okay, I want to get this thing going, but they can't dig the footings yet and everything. And
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to build all the walls. So I started building the walls in my garage, and I've got almost, yeah, I have almost all the wall. I feel like the only thing I'm missing is that hat, like the Amish. And
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm building all the walls in the garage, and then we're going to take them all out there and stand them up, put them in place, and all. So it's going to be kind of a prefab type thing. That way I can get it all done pretty much in a weekend as far as the walls in place anyway, not the whole house, but
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
once I get the subfloor down and we get the footings dug and the block in and the subfloor down, trusses and subfloor, then I can come out there one day and we can stand all these walls up and then put the trusses on. And
Yeah.
so yeah, just because I was had nothing else to do, so yeah, we got that going.
Yeah, just because you don't have anything to do, we'll just go ahead and build half of the house
That's right.
in your
Yeah,
garage.
yeah, they're only they're 12-foot walls. I did them in sections, so they're like 12
Mhm.
foot, and then picked up more lumber tonight. Those are I do a 2x6 walls on the outside just because I like to make sure it's a little bit sturdier, and
Yeah.
especially because there's a lot of wind out there. So we're doing 2x6 walls on the outside, and then 2x4 walls on the inside, except where there's plumbing. Then it's got to be 2x6, so you can get pipe
Yeah.
coming out. But it's fun, something to do, and
Yeah.
so we're starting that process to get that done, and hopefully have it done. Yeah, maybe by August, something like that. Move in, able to move into it and everything, and hopefully should be able to about August or so.
That'll be good. Yeah. Yeah, that won't be too bad. Good deal.
But
So,
yeah, just
uh,
give me something else to do, run over there and do some stuff. So
yeah, yeah. So we got coming up. You got how busy is it going at Ashmore right now?
um, not really too much. We had somebody, we had a group come out there. I feel about it kind of bad because they came out there Sunday night and they got there at 7 o'clock like normal,
Yeah.
and then Abby sent me a message like, okay, I'm going. They're leaving, so I'm going home. I'm like, what? It's like 11:30. It's like, yeah, they're in high school, so they had to go home early. They'd be home by midnight. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, if they'd have told me that up front, we would have, I'd have done something with the hours so they could have been out there earlier. But
yeah.
they never mentioned that. They just told me, I said, yeah, we usually do them 7 to 10 in the morning. And they're
Hmm.
like, okay. And so it's like, yeah, so I'm gonna get a hold of them and work something
Yeah.
out with them, to help them out a
Yeah.
little bit, do some stuff.
Yeah, it's
So,
nice. Yeah.
but yeah, I feel kind of bad when all of a sudden they're like leaving 4 hours after they got there. And
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
who knows? They're 18 years of age. They may have just just wanted to do that anyway. Didn't want to be out there very long, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah. It's almost time to turn it into a pumpkin, so time to go home. It's almost midnight. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yep. That's what they were saying. So
Mhm.
yeah, I just noticed in the comments, Jamie said she's going to be out there in at Ashmore in April. That's cool. It's supposed to
Yeah.
get some rain in Wisconsin. My kids live in Wisconsin. That's why I was watching the weather because they're down here for a funeral right now, and they're headed back
Yeah.
up. I think tomorrow morning, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, so they're going to head up there hopefully before it gets all the rain or snow, whatever that comes into it. So
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully so. It'd be a mess to try to drive back in.
Gina, you can't turn into a pumpkin at 9. You've got things to do over at Rose at times, so that can't happen. So
Can't be turning into a pumpkin at 9 o'clock, right?
Mike's gonna have to keep you busy over at Rose to do some stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
So anything
Yep.
happening over road you got to do?
Got the public investigation this weekend. That's going on. I only got one ticket left, so we had like 3 tickets sold, and I posted it up the other day, and luckily we've almost filled it all up, and Crystal and I have been kind of posting stuff up about it, and we just got one ticket left on it, and of course, a few of the other ones, like for the next 2 or 3 months, we've got a few tickets that's already selling for some of those. So if anybody wants tickets on those, might go ahead and buy those pretty soon because they might fill up pretty fast.
Yeah, once the weather starts changing, everything starts
Mm,
going really quick. And so we haven't. I haven't really been pushing a lot of tickets to Ashmore yet. We've got all of our
yeah,
investigations ready to go. We've had them up since October of last year, and for this year. So they're out there. They're available and ready to go. So check out Rhodes,
yeah,
check out Ashmore, and we can
yeah,
get you all hooked up and get you investigating. But all of our Saturdays are gone until November.
yeah,
And unless you want to sneak in, a Saturday in February, but it's going to be cold in there. I guarantee you that. So
yeah.
even if it's 50
No,
degrees outside, it's going to be like a refrigerator inside.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, even with having heat here and stuff, I think it's been slower. Like when it's these cold months, even though I think people know we have heat here, but I think just because we never know what the weather's going to do. You see like how it's been. Like we'd get warmer weather and then get a foot of snow dropped on us all of a sudden, then it starts warming up, then it's cold again, and it's so all over the place. I think that's maybe what the causes so much of a problem. People that are wanting to travel you know, quite a bit of a distance, to get here. It's like not knowing if they're going to make it because of the weather or something.
Right. Well, one thing that we've that Crystal and I've talked about too that she'll do there if somebody tries to come up and you get a lot of snow and all like that and you can't get there because of snow, they'll reschedule. She'll reschedule
Yeah,
it
get them
for you.
rescheduled. Yeah, yeah, yep. But yeah, I think that's just kind of what slows down, maybe for the most part with
Right.
things. But yeah, like you said, I mean, if anybody books, I mean, if they can't make it out because we get a bunch of bad weather or something, yeah, we can always reschedule them and set them
Yep.
up for a different date.
But well, I see Doogie popped in there. He's in the standby area. So let's
Cool.
let's bring him in and get things going with Mr. Doogie for the night. So
Yeah,
bring him
let's
in here.
let us get him in here.
There he is.
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
What's going
Hey,
on?
not much.
I like the lead in right there. Let us continue.
Yeah, a little inside joke with dinner and stuff that we've had that people are probably wondering what are they talking about. Yeah,
Man, we had a blast that night, man. At dinner, that
yeah, it
was
was
that was a,
fun.
that was a good time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Making fun of Ron Turner's always fun.
yeah, yep, yep.
But it is so easy though. That's the only problem. I like a challenge, and so sometimes it's kind of tough with Ron because there's not much of a challenge.
He made it pretty easy that night, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Crystal could have made fun of Ron that
I've never seen a guy order so much lettuce in my life.
and only lettuce. So
Only.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
and I
that's.
think
Uh,
and the dressing on the side.
I can't say much about the dressing because I usually don't put dressing on mine, but I mean, I usually have a little bit more than lettuce on it. I mean, yeah.
Gotta have a little extras or something.
Yeah, get it. Yeah. Would you like some cheese with your lettuce?
So what's new and exciting with Doogie?
Oh man, I'm a busy person here lately. Got a lot of stuff going on with real estate. Um, just took a new position around Christmas time with a building company here out of Nashville, and I'm their project coordinator. So I'm staying pretty busy. And then the events that I'm doing, me and the fearless guys, Jason and Jeremy. Uh, we're just staying busy, man. Busy is good. Keeps everything flowing and rolling really well.
Yeah, I'd
That's
imagine
cool.
you're keeping busy because, like you said, with the real estate. I mean, I don't like around here, and even my sister was having issues with things finding places. Man, it's like as soon as something gets listed, it's a pending like hours after it's listed. Seems
It's
like.
Yeah, it's gone. Well, you have all these cash buyers coming in from California and New York, and they're buying things sight unseen, cash money, and it's just hard for the normal person to be able to go in with any kind of contingencies or financing or things of that nature because of the fact that if you're a seller, you just want a quick cash deal, and they're paying over asking price. So it's really hard for the average person to find something because as soon as it hits the market, it's gone.
Yeah.
What are they doing with the houses then? Just reselling them?
No, they're living in them. They're moving
Oh,
here
okay.
where they're moving to, well, pretty much any state connected to Tennessee, pretty much where all the taxes are lower, and which I think that's going to have a backfire effect because it's going to start raising our taxes, of course. But hey, it
Mm.
is. I guess it's what you call growth. It's just going a little too fast for especially the area I'm in. Our infrastructure can't handle it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
what.
crazy.
Yeah, Florida ran into a little bit of that problem too. Everybody moving down to Florida, and they didn't have the hospitals and things like that to handle all the people, the influx of people they had coming. So you're probably going to see a little bit of that before you know it too.
Oh, there's no doubt. We can't even. Well, my drive normally where I'm at most every day. You know, 2 or 3 years ago, it took me 25 minutes. Now it takes me an hour or
Yeah.
better. Yeah, and most of the time that's sitting going about 35 miles an hour. So just too many people, man. Too many people. Mm.
It's gonna
So
keep getting worse, it sounds like. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's definitely it's a different ball game. I've been in the building industry, my whole life, and this is a whole different ball game. I've built houses, sold houses, and I mean it's just crazy. Something that 5 years ago a nice house would have cost you about $180,000, and now a nice house is like $600,000. So it's just getting crazy out here.
That's a huge change. I mean, because geez, I mean,
Yeah, it's
God,
a whole new world, and a lot of people in Tennessee. I mean, we're seeing it like in Nashville and different places like that. It's driving the homeless population way up because if you've got an average job, it's hard to afford to live in Nashville. I mean, you got to be making some bank to live in Nashville. Everything these high rises down there are a million plus. It's just it's like a little LA now. It's kind of crazy.
God,
yeah, that's kind of
craziness.
crazy.
You know. So what's
It's
been
good. It's
new in you
keeping you
guys'
busy.
world? Oh yeah, dude. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Well, you seen I was sitting on this thing an
I
hour
wasn't gonna
ago.
say anything. I told Robin, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
No, man, it's been that kind of day. Like I rushed around to get home because I was like, man, I gotta get on the show with the guys tonight. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. I was like, I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes and I don't hear anybody.
Yeah, I told Robin. I said, yeah, I said about 8:15. My time. I was like, yeah, I got a text and said, "Hey, where you guys at? I can't see or hear you." And like I was just like, "I'm not gonna say anything on the show, but since you brought it up."
No, man. Hey, I'm not trying to hide nothing.
Yeah, I was like,
Man,
it's 9 Eastern time, 8 Central.
yeah, man.
The problem, Doogie, is Mike just lives in the wrong time zone.
And that's the whole problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
Well,
Yeah,
I was thinking, when he typed that in, I was thinking, oh, he's an hour ahead, so I need to be on at 7. 7:15. I was way off,
a little bit.
just a little bit.
That's right. Hey, you're here. So, I mean, we had a couple early
Yeah,
on that never even got connected to us. So, yep,
Yeah,
they had no internet or no way to connect us. And in fact,
yeah.
yeah, we ran into a couple problems like that. Chad was like an hour late one time, and then yep, then we had one just he was down in Mexico and couldn't even get connected to the internet. So, not a problem. We're glad you're
uh,
here. So,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm glad you guys had me on, man. I've been looking forward
yeah,
to this. I don't
totally.
get to hang with you guys near as much, man. We had a good time up in Duluth. That was that
oh
was
Yeah.
a
yeah,
that was a fun time, man. Just hanging out. Me and Robin had to make our midnight Walmart run to get a battery.
yeah. Yeah, we barely made that, and got there with about 20 minutes before they were closing to get a battery for my truck that, of all places, died with Dave Schroeder and his daughter, I guess it was, in the car truck with us and everybody. It's like packed in there like sardines, and the battery
This
won't.
full truck. Yeah,
Like great, it's just what we don't need. So, but
yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you helping me out that night too, because I didn't want to turn that truck off. If I turned it off, I knew it wasn't going to start again.
Oh, that's no problem, man. I had a good time. Plus, after we got the battery, and I got to go into Walmart and get me some duds to go back to the hotel with, some water and some snacks. I'm a big fella. I like to eat snacks. I can't live off that lettuce.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
So you know, the show, the Tennessee Race Chaser shows, you guys did numerous of them. It wasn't just one. You did quite a few of them, didn't
Yeah, I think we ended up doing like 4 shows, maybe something like that. We got on up there in episodes too. I can't even keep count of how many episodes we did. But yeah, man, we had a good run. Uh, you know, and but it kind of come to the end. I think there was some different things with the network that we weren't willing to budge on some things, and they wanted to go a different route. So it works out how it works out, man. I'm telling you, I'm a whole lot happier not traveling. I get to be home with my family, and I've kind of toned down a lot of the paranormal stuff. I mean, I know COVID toned down a lot of it, but um, it just seems like I've kind of got out of some of the darker avenues of the paranormal, and man, life is just going so much better.
you? Yep. Yeah. Most people don't realize that traveling that just tears you up after a while. It's like it sounds great, shows sound fun, on
Uh,
TV and doing all that, but man, it could be a nightmare too.
yeah, if I was a single man, it might not be that bad, but I got a wife and a son at home, and we're always doing stuff, so it was hard being away, and now being at home, other than doing my events, somewhat local. I may go a few states away or something every once in a while, but um, it's just nice coming home, knowing that you're going home and not to a hotel room, and the only get out you got is going out to the parking lot and walking around. so
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm a lot happier being home for sure.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, because like what you're saying with that, if you go a few states away, I mean, you're gone 2 or 3 days or whatever. You're back home versus go out to film. I mean, you're probably like back then. You're probably gone for like weeks at a time, probably, weren't you?
Yeah, we at some points, yes, we did get negotiated, into that because at that time my son was playing high school football, so I wanted to make sure that I was here for his games every Friday. So basically, my travel took place like Sunday through Thursday, and I was home Friday and sometimes Saturday, just depending on what we were doing. And then we were back out, usually like Sunday night. And but they were gracious enough to let me be home to watch his football games. I didn't have to miss any of them. So that was a good thing. That meant a lot to me because money's not everything, and nor is fame. So I'd rather see my son playing football than be famous or have money.
Now, with the show that you guys did, you and Chris kind of started your whole team, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We when we got teamed up, then we just started bringing people on like Porter, Chasey Ray, and then Brandon. He come on a little bit later, about a year or so after, and yeah, it was just that was the dream team. That was the team back in the day, and then it just kind of started. I don't know, things started kind of changing. After Chasey Ray left, he was kind of an anchor. I mean, you can't beat old Chasey Ray. I mean, he had his own language and everything, so you can't. I mean, that guy, he was so good, man. He would give you the shirt off his back, and just being around him, you could have a really crappy day, and all you have to do is just go in and listen to a Chasey Ray story and listen to him talk for about 5 minutes, and your whole day is just better.
Yep. I really
So
liked watching him.
Oh, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. I tried to get him back out, but his wife's got him on lockdown. He won't do events or anything, which I get it. He's got 3 kids. He's got other responsibilities, and he's manning up, and that's what he's doing. I respect his decisions for sure.
so how did Ghost Asylum start out?
Um, it was it was something. Everybody was looking for something different, and I'd been thinking for years, you know, about how to kind of contain this energy. You always heard people, we're going in and helping people, we're helping people, and I'm like, well, how could you really help somebody? And it was one of those things. I pitched it to the network, but the network kind of I twisted it into a trap. It wasn't really a trap. They kept wanting to use that word trap, and that wasn't what it was really intended for. It was more of how can we, you hear about things being trapped inside of chest of drawers, or trapped in a vase, or it's like, why is it trapped in there? Why can't we try to contain this house? How can we get it outside of wherever it's trapped in? If we can contain it in something and actually move the energy, then if we get it outside the walls that it's trapped in, maybe it could go wherever it needs to go. And there was a couple of times we actually succeeded in containing, some energy, and it was one of those things that it was all trial and error. But I mean, it's kind of like the paranormal stays in this same path forever, and everybody's always afraid to get out of that path because they're afraid what somebody's going to say. Well, I've always been one. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to try different things, and that's basically what Ghost Asylum was trying different experiments, trying different methods, but also incorporating the tried and true methods that we've used for years. And it was different, man. You had some people that absolutely hated it, and it was a different avenue, a different path to you know try to help whatever this energy is to get to the next place, to get out of the walls that it's trapped in. It was just a different avenue and a different take on things.
Now, when you guys did that originally and set that up, the word trap really wasn't. You weren't really trying to. All right, we're gonna get this and put it in a box and take it out of here at all. It wasn't meant to be like that, was it? It was just like what you're talking about, trying to move energy basically from where it's attached to someplace else.
Yeah, someplace else. Basically, trying to take that. If you're going in to help somebody, they want this out of their house. Because we would always have people say, "Well, we've had the house blessed and we've done this and it made it worse," and you know, it was like, okay, how can we contain this energy and move it? And if we move this energy from where it's trapped, then why can't it go to where it's supposed to be? What is trapping it inside these four walls, or in Tom's chest of drawers over here that's been in the family for 95 years. Why is it why is it attached to that? Just trying to figure out those things that we've always heard in the paranormal, and just kind of shake it up a little bit and see if there's a different avenue, or if there's something that we're missing. That this stuff can attach to different things. I mean, you always hear people have an attachment. Well, why can't it attach to this so we can move it? And people. I mean,
I think he froze up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I wasn't sure if it was mine or my computer or his or what there. So
I was wondering, it's like maybe it's mine, but I think he just froze up.
yep, yeah, I think we've Doogie, if you can hear us there, I think you kind of locked up. So you may have to get out and come back in, and with that. So hopefully you can do that. And
yeah, we can play the Jeopardy tunes while we're waiting.
Oh, maybe he might be back. I don't know.
Still
heard us on the show. Hey, we're giving you a transportation device to go to wherever you want to go. We're going to get you outside of here, outside of these walls. If you're trapped here, if you want to go, it's not like we were trying to sneak up on it or do.
Yep, froze up again.
I don't know what's going on
here. Yeah.
You start freezing up. You're just like.
Yeah, I think it's still froze there.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do something
else. We're back?
Yep, we can hear you. You're still frozen now.
Yeah, okay. Looks like your picture's kind of frozen there. Let me see if we can, let's just try this. I don't think it'll work, but we'll get it, try it. Adding back in here, see if it pops back on.
Oh.
Yep, I think he's completely locked up.
That's weird. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, I can see you guys fine and see me. I don't know what.
If the picture doesn't come back in, we can just get a picture of him, like stick it up.
Yeah, just stick it up there on the screen.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's no video feed, but we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Yeah.
Well,
Jamie said he's a ghost.
Yeah, it must be something paranormal.
Yeah, it's paranormal.
Maybe you can pop out and then try to, if you've still got that link, and not like send you again, but if you get out and then come back in, that might work for you.
Okay, yeah, let me try.
All right, he's gone now, but yeah, he'll be back.
I thought maybe it's just me, and I was just like, but then I was like, oh, I think he just froze up.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. In fact, I was just going to ask everybody if they could, hear him and see him and all, but
yeah, he started kind of cutting out, and then it just froze.
Yep, and he's trying to come back now. It's like the device is not connected, but hopefully, he's down there in the boondocks in Tennessee. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if this works for him. Okay. Hey, you're
there.
He
now. Is.
You're back.
There he is.
So, yeah, we lost you there for a minute there.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live down here in the hills and hollers.
Yeah, exactly. But I was, and I don't know if I mentioned to you, I think I did. But at Ashmore, I had a producer call me 2014 or 2015 and wanted to bring Ghost Asylum out to Ashmore Estates. And, I said, I was all for it, not a problem at all. But I said, the only thing I didn't like, I said, because at that time it was like, we're trying to trap this ghost. And they kind of led you down a road that they were just basically almost like blowing this ghost up or doing something like that with it. And I just didn't like that idea at all. And so I told the producer, I said, if they're going to trap a ghost, I can't have it. I don't want it done. It wasn't so much that I didn't want, a spirit removed from the property. It was more like I just don't like that idea. But when I talked to Mike then about it, he told me what you guys were really trying to do. It made sense, but the show was taking it almost like, okay, we're gonna do something off the wall and do it like this, kind of like what other shows go out there and chase down demons all the time. And I think that was
Right.
kind of a problem with that whole thing, is that they weren't doing it the way that you guys intended to have it done.
No, they never do. You always have somebody from a cooking show trying to tell you how to do a ghost show. So it is what it is, man. Hollywood's gonna be Hollywood, and to each their own. But that's the reason why me and Jason and Jeremy, we've got a good crew that we've hooked up with, shooting a couple of documentaries. And we do it how we want to do it, and we don't have anybody telling us how to do it, how to shoot it. Um, so I like that freedom, because I'm not dependent on somebody else trying to tell me how to do a ghost show.
Right. No, I agree with you. In fact, Jamie had a question for you. If you're doing anything with TWC or strictly Fearless Ones.
It's just the Fearless Ones, and it's not the Fearless Ones is not a team. The Fearless Ones is a mindset. Um, because everybody does these teams and all this kind of stuff, and you have to have a leader, and you don't have to have all that. Um, it's go out here and do what you're passionate about, and the Fearless Ones kind of stands for that. Go out here and do what you're passionate about. Um, Go beyond what your fear is, because once you go beyond what your fear is, then there is no fear, and it just opens up so many more paths. And it's I don't know, it's just a whole different ball game with the dynamic that us three have, and it just brings it back to being fun again. TV made things not fun, and it changes people, and sometimes not for the good, and it is what it is. But this has brought it back to old school, to what investigating was supposed to be, what it all started out as, and you know the whatever they call themselves, the WC now. Wish those guys well. Uh, but I'm taking a different path, and I've always took my own path, and I'm gonna continue doing that because I just I like doing things a certain way in my way, and and I like keeping things um, on a better, I don't know, a better path, a more, I don't know, it's just a different path. I'm taking a different path, and I like this path a whole lot better.
Nice
It's
thing
always
about
more
the
fun to do it your own, the way you want to do something.
Oh, for sure. And then like Jason and Jeremy, it takes ghost hunting back to what it was started out to be. It's bringing back the fun, bringing back the old school. It's not trying to impress anybody. It's not, oh, how can we do something to get a TV show? Like, I mean, I think that's kind of destroyed ghost hunting, because I think a lot of the teams and stuff out here that I see anymore. I mean, there's still real genuine people, in this field. But then there's a lot of people that are only in this field to get famous. And, I hate to tell you, unless you're Zach Bagans or, the Ghost Nation guys that's been in it a long time, you're not going to make a whole lot of money doing this. I mean, I think people's got it all wrong. They think you get on TV and you're going to make all this money. And if that's what you're doing it for, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
That's what I was going to say a minute ago. What Robin just said. The good thing about doing your own, your own stuff, your documentaries and stuff, is when you put that out, from beginning to end, you're happy with the entire thing. Nobody's over your shoulder saying, "No, let's pull this out and let's add this or let's do that or whatever."
Yep. Yep. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Um, you know, I mean, the one time that we were told, they pulled a full-bodied apparition out of our show because they said it didn't fit a storyline. Uh, that told me right then, this is getting a little ridiculous. I mean, this isn't supposed to have a storyline. I mean, you have to. I mean, anything you do, it can be a non-scripted TV show, but you have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, just to keep some kind of, you know, structure to the show. But I mean, you let the paranormal play out where it plays out. That's the story. Because you may think it's going in one direction, but you get an answer and it takes you in a total different direction. Um, you can't just dismiss that stuff just because you want to keep it on a certain direction. Um, so, that's kind of what I like about doing these documentaries is it kind of tells its own story. We're just there shooting it, capturing this on camera. We go in and we hear different stories, but you just let the story play out for itself with the evidence that you catch, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing your own thing. So if it takes you 3 different directions, you go 3 different directions.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being able to, you got to be able to ad lib a little bit if you're doing those shows or anything. I mean, I know Dalen from Ghost Brothers told me before. He's like, they had some really cool evidence in one show they shot, but it wasn't the storyline that the production company wanted to go with, so they didn't get to show it. And then Brad Klings told me about a situation they had back years ago with Ghost Lab that was probably some of the coolest evidence they ever seen. But at that time, it was like, we don't really know if we want to show this real paranormal type stuff out there. We just want people to think there's ghosts out there. We don't want to actually prove it to them. And he said, I mean, they had something like a knife that jumped out of a vase that came completely out of the vase, up and out, fell on the table, and they caught it on camera, but they wouldn't let them show it. And it's like, it's ridiculous. And but yeah, it's just like, oh, it doesn't fit it doesn't fit the criteria of this show, so we can't have that out there. We don't want that seen.
And what sucks is like, go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
I was just saying, well, and what sucks is like, if you catch that good evidence that you want to put out there, if the network owns the rights to all this stuff, then nobody's ever going to see it. It's just gone.
Nope. That outtake is up on a shelf somewhere, collecting dust somewhere, until they want to make money on it again.
Yeah.
And and that's one reason. I always, I heard a few people, which I'm not going to name any names, but said they don't want to deal with Hollywood ever again. And I see why. I understand it. And I'm just not. I'm not going to play ball for that. It's not worth my credibility or anything like that to play ball with. All they're worried about is money and putting butts in the seats. I'm out there trying to tell a story and tell a story of what maybe people that have been passed on, and tell that story as true as I can tell it. And if I catch the evidence and put it out there, but that's not the way the old circus ball rolls apparently. So I'm good with not being in that circus.
No, I can completely understand that, and I actually, I mean, that's just like when I told back in the Ghost Asylum days. I told them, I said, I can't do with that. They actually were like, in fact, the guy, and I remember the producer from the show he said, but we're going to make your building famous. I said, well, the only reason you called me is because the building's famous. And so I said, so you're not going to help me out at all with that. I said, people are coming out there because it's been on shows already. And yeah, he just wasn't happy with me at all with that. I'm like, they're not used to being able, they're not used to somebody telling them no, because it's all about want to be on TV. I'm like, nah, don't care about it.
Oh no,
so, sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they weren't real happy when we were going to tell them we weren't going to do the show if we couldn't keep prayer in it. They're like, you're going to turn down a TV show? Yeah, pretty much. They said they showed our show at like midday in Vegas on like a Thursday. I'm like, well, and they said every time it got to prayer, everybody turned it down. I was like, we're Southern guys, and we're in the Bible Belt, and this is what we believe, and if that doesn't conform to what you need to do, then hasta la vista. But they kept it in, which was good, and that's one of the biggest things that I take from all the years being on the road is the people that come up to me at events, in just different places. Sometimes it could be in the middle of Walmart, when I'm getting chips, in the chip aisle. Uh, they said, the first time we ever heard prayer in our home was you guys' show, and we really appreciate that, and that makes you feel good because you stood up and you fought you know, for the good word, and that's something that I take from that show. Out of all the other stuff that I didn't like about everything, that was one good thing that we got prayer in the people's house, and and some people it turned into, you know, now I've become a Christian, and that's a pretty powerful thing, to have that platform to be able to help somebody, you know, to get to that level that may not have had that kind of structure in their life before.
Yep, I agree with you. It's being able to having them leave that in there means a lot too, because the production company, they probably could have cut that out, and your show would have probably been dead after one season because you guys probably would have just walked. But yeah, but they were smart enough to leave it in there. It wasn't like it was half the show or anything like that, and it wasn't over the top. It was just showed you guys were there as a group. I mean, it showed a lot of camaraderie with you guys and where you guys were with your personal feelings with things.
Yep, totally. I mean, a little sliver of the show, but a little sliver of the show, you know, whether it changed two people's lives or changed, 1,000 people's life. All it takes is that one change, and that's all it took. And just, standing up for that was, well worth it, even just to change for one person, you know.
So, what got you into the paranormal to begin with?
Oh, it started a long time back, I guess, before you say paranormal was cool, Um, I grew up in a haunted area of Tennessee, and we had two Civil War forts that I lived really. I mean, I could look out my window and see it. Um, and I always heard growing up, ever since I was knee high to a grasshopper, about Civil War soldiers and how the train tunnels were haunted and they'd see all this stuff all the time. So, you know, as a youngster, I started having this curiosity all the time, like what are these people seeing and why are they seeing it? And so it ends up being, you know, years and years of it started out just going in the woods trying to get, scared. And then it turned into, well, let's start trying to catch this stuff, you know, on camera or something. And, it just become, I don't know. I mean, you see where it is 26 years later. I'm still researching the paranormal and trying to, find answers, you know, because this is not a science, it's not a solid scientific fact field. It changes all the time. You're dealing with something that doesn't conform to our world. They don't have the same rules. And, it's hard to explain those things. Sometimes I think it's way bigger than our minds can comprehend. And but it's been fun. It's been fun trying to understand it and figure it out because it always takes you down a new road and always makes you think. You're always scratching your head. You think you've got
Hmm.
one thing figured out, and then 10 investigations later, something turns totally different. You're like, okay, that's not what it's not what I thought or how I thought this was going to work out at all.
Yep.
Gina said you need to come up the road sometime.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Gina, she said you
Oh,
need
the
to come up
roads.
to Rhodes
Yeah, I
Hotel
definitely.
sometime. Yeah.
Yes, I definitely need to do that. Which I've talked to you about that a few times, Mike, and
Yeah, we need to
trying
do
trying to
that.
get up there and do some things. Yep.
Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
we're
we
gonna
can
try to
set
get you
some up.
Ashmore, but we ran out of Saturdays. It's like before I had a chance to do anything with any of them, they were gone.
Yeah, we'll have to do some
Yeah, I know
talking.
we had talked about it, and we were. Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I'm definitely down for it. Be cool to get up there and hang a little bit and chill out and do a little spooky hunting too.
Yeah, yeah. I'll bring the lettuce.
I'll bring
All
I'll bring the salad dressing on the side.
right, we're in.
We'll have to have Ron buy the first ticket just so we can get somebody to to harass.
Yeah, I tell you what, I liked him. It's one of the first times I think I'd met him, and man, he's just a cool guy. I like him.
Yeah.
He gets a hard time, but it kind of reminds me of how we used to do Chasey Ray all the time. It was just like it was easy. It was just easy.
Yeah.
Yep, that's I pick on Ron quite a bit. He didn't make it to Unity Day this year, which we do every year, and he couldn't make it up this year. But um, we have he's usually my person I pick it up on. So
He's
you
on
know,
here. He said, "I'm hearing all this."
yeah, well, we're not trying to hide it from you, Ron. I guess it's the truth, brother.
Yeah, yeah. We're just throwing it out there. Let us talk more about it.
Oh my goodness. I knew we were going to have some puns tonight. That works out
Oh yeah,
just
no way
wicked
around it.
awesome.
It's just,
Kind of
I'm
a
trying to
serious
see what
question
some of
there.
these people are saying, but my eyesight is terrible.
Do you use historical research before all investigations? If so, who do you use?
Well, Porter used to research a lot of it, and sometimes I mean, we never really used anybody. We would we'd dig into it and just kind of, try to figure it out. But a lot like on these documentaries that we're working on, we're actually before we go into the place, we're trying to find like new places, and we don't want them to tell us anything about it. We want to go in and investigate for about 2 days, and we actually stay in the places. We're not just going in, leaving, coming back the next night. We're actually staying there the whole time to see what kind of evidence we get, and then a couple days later, we have them tell us history about the place, and we start digging into the history and that kind of thing to see if it's already trying to tell us a story without us knowing anything. Because sometimes you can go in and you can kind of manifest your own answers, through the paranormal, even though it's not giving you that answer. You're trying so hard to follow that history and the background that you kind of let that distort just the evidence.
Your documentaries, how can they find those? Where are they at?
Um, we're hoping to have them on Amazon and maybe Netflix. There's a little red tape with all that, like anything else. Um, but we're working on. We were hoping to get them out this year, so we're still working on those. When you're pushing and trying to fund this stuff and the travel yourself, it takes a little longer when you don't have a financial backing by a network or somebody like that. So, um, but it's coming. I'm not going to give a time date because it's one of those ones that it's still a work in progress trying to get two of these things done, and you know and for you guys, you know what it takes to do a lot of these things, especially when you're trying to do a documentary or a docu series. I mean, there's a lot of work in it, especially when I'm already working three other jobs. You know, uh, it's not a lot of time in the day to get everything done.
yeah, but
Yeah, it's tough to follow through and get everything done. And it's not like you don't have a staff like the networks have to go out there and just like record this, take it back, turn it over to them, let them do it. That's what they get paid the big bucks to do. So when you're doing it all yourself, it's a lot harder. Kayla said that they stopped doing residential
Yeah, that is
investigations in
very
the
true.
area. They stick to historical or notoriously known haunts because so many residents were just, well, the fruitcake factor. Have you come across some of that? If you've done any any personal or private residential things that somebody's just out there just blowing smoke?
Yes. Early on, we used to do quite a few residentials, and I remember one in particular. We had to drive back in a snowstorm that night for pretty much a fluke. We ended up we were trying to recreate like a sleeping session. This girl said every time she goes to bed, she wakes up with these scratches and cuts and all this kind of stuff. So we just put a DVR camera on her, and here we went. Well, the next thing you know, she's bleeding profusely, and we're sitting there watching her. We're like, what just happened? Because we're watching this on camera. Well, we go in, run in, and she's bleeding. Well, at the time we had a guy named Joe on the team, and Joe went in there and found a piece of glass she had stuck in the bed, and it was a piece of broken glass, and that's what the movement was in the bed. She actually cut herself, and I was like, this is ridiculous. We're not dealing with a
Ah,
haunting here. We're dealing with somebody that's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. So so we kind of packed up after that. So we just kind of laced it a little bit and said, okay, we'll go back and look over the evidence and this thing and the other, and drove back that night. And I remember me and Porter were actually riding together, and we had to help a girl because she had wrecked. She went off in this big ravine off to the side. Brandon was with us as well, and it was just dangerous to even be out. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was like we
ah.
got like almost an inch and a half of ice. It was just terrible, to go do a residential for something like that. And then after we got on TV, it was just we pretty much kissed the residential goodbye because you had everybody calling just to get somebody from TV to their house. So now we just kind of stick with our some of our friends own historical places and cool places. So we go and try to help them out. Try to figure more out about their places and things like that instead of the residentials.
Yeah, I had a lady one time that called me that to go over residential stuff because I did a lot of residentials and I wasn't on TV, so there was no real reason to call me, to do anything for her. But she called me and I talked to her at length, and I never went to their house because I always like to talk to everybody up front, on the phone a little bit, get some ideas. And the more I talked to her, the more I didn't feel real good about the whole thing. And she finally, after she called me like the second or third time, we talked about everything, and she was all about her kids. So I was really interested since it was her kids were at risk and everything. But her final question the last time we talked was like, "So do you think this would be good for TV?" And at that point, I'm like, this is all just BS. And I said, I don't know. I
Yeah.
said, you'll probably need to contact a production company and ask them about it because I said, I have no ties to TV and I don't have anything I can do for you on that TV stuff. She's like, okay, well, I'll see if I can find somebody that does. So I think it was all just BS. She just wanted to see if she can, make up a story to get on TV.
Yeah, and that's been the big problem, especially as the paranormal has grown. Since the late '90s, early 2000s. It's becoming more of a household thing. People know about it. It's on TV when they turn it on, um, and it's just kind of like I was talking earlier. Everybody wants to do something just to get famous or get on TV, and it starts taking all the truth factor out of everything. So you don't know who to trust and who not to trust. So it's kind of hard to do the residential stuff anymore. It really is, unless it's just somebody that you really know that's close to you, and and I have a few of those. I mean, we've done a few of those, here in the past couple years, and those are the people that are because they're like, I don't want this out nowhere. I just been having this kind of trouble. Can you come over and check it out? And that's the ones that I'll go do. But anybody was like, oh, you bringing cameras and any production? No. It's good. Probably not haunting. It's probably you've manifested something in your head from watching another show, and now you want to try to
Exactly.
get your place on TV. So
Kind of a lengthy one, but it's a good one. Can you see it? Or you want me to read it to you?
yeah, you may have to read it to me. It's coming in really
Okay.
small
Yeah.
on my screen.
One question I get asked and would like your take on is that some people seem to be sensitive, can see ghosts, and others can't. Example: 5 people look at the same doorway, and 3 see a full apparition, while 2 see nothing. Any thoughts? I don't know if you locked up or not.
There.
Yeah, I can hear you now, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, somebody was trying to call in my phone. I was trying to not answer the phone call.
No.
My phone rings all the time. It's crazy. But I think I do believe that some people are a little more sensitive and see things. Just from experience with some of the stuff that I seen, and then somebody next to me won't see it. But I also think that these things, whatever we are dealing with, can show up to whoever they want to show up to. If they want you to see them, you'll see them. If they don't want you, then you're not going to see them. Every once in a while, I think, like Brandon was a good example of that. Brandon used to catch some pretty good stuff, like going over his footage. It'd be like on a boat that's in a sea that's a terrible storm. I mean, it's not focused on anything, but he'll have that one motion. It's like he confuses the ghost because they don't know which way he's going to be pointing the camera, and he would catch some pretty cool stuff. And you know, but like I said, I think some people are more sensitive, and sometimes they can let certain people see things that somebody else can't see. That's just my take on it.
Yep. I agree with you. I think most of the psychics I've ever talked to said the same thing: is that even you put 3 psychics in a room, and they may not all 3 pick up on the same thing. They'll pick up on different things. It just depends on what that spirit wants them to be seen or wants to talk to, and where the energy is coming to, and where they're putting the energy to. So,
Right.
the one big thing I always tell everybody: the only thing we know about the paranormal is we really don't know anything about the paranormal.
You hit the nail on the head. Yep. And it may be something. I tell people all the time. It's like, you think you're ever going to figure it out? I'm like, you know, um, probably not. But it's been fun trying, and
Oh, you'll
it's
figure it
also
out.
one of those things that, yeah, probably when I passed on, I get to the pearly gates, and he's like, "You had it all
Exactly.
wrong the whole time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when you'll figure everything out.
Yep.
Yep. Because
Yeah.
that was kind of my mission with paranormal. My grandmother experiencing stuff in her home. That's what kind of drove me, because she passed away, and it just left me. There was no way that I could help her understand what she was seeing or experiencing. But it hit me a few years later. I'm out here doing all this. I said, she's already there, in that next spiritual realm. You know, I said, she's probably up there laughing at me now, saying, "Yeah, he's never gonna figure it out." It's nothing like what he's thinking. So, but one day it'd be nice to get up there, and he showed me the actual roadmap, and I'll be like, "Man, I was way off."
Oh well, that can happen. So
Yep.
we're kind of getting close to that hour now, anyway. And so now I've got the. I don't know if you've got another website. I know that you've got the the one for the realty business. So if you're looking for your house, and
Right.
one thing, I guess, kind of going to the real estate side of things, the cool thing about it, if somebody's looking for a home in your area, is that since you build houses, you can look at these a lot different than just a typical realtor does. Walks in and doesn't even know how to hold a hammer. Yours
Right.
yours is a little different with your abilities and the prior work with homes.
Yeah, for sure. I can go in. I'm not a licensed home inspector by no means, but you know, I mean, since the time I was born, I had a hammer in my hand building something. I mean, that's just what my family did. And I can go in and tell you if something's structurally sound or not structurally sound just by walking in. I don't have to do a lot of deep looking. Usually it's right there in front of your eyes. Uh,
Yep.
but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a place in Tennessee, even if you're outside of Tennessee, let me know. I can help you pretty much anywhere. I can get you in contact with the people you need to get to. I have a whole referral group with EXP. We're in a ton of different countries. Australia. Uh, I mean, I can't even name all of them. I mean, we're everywhere, all over. We're a global company. Um, so yeah, all you got to do is message me if you're looking for something somewhere. I can get you hooked up with the right people and put you in the right direction. So yeah, definitely hit up my really. It's on all my social media pages and stuff like that. I don't really have a website for the paranormal stuff so much anymore. Um, you know, I basically we got the Fearless page, the Fearless Ones page, the We the Fearless group, which there's no advertising on it. If you want to join that group, it's all about discussing your fears. If there's something that you're feeling weird about, post on there that day. We interact with you. It's more about just expressing yourself on there, expressing your fears and how to overcome them. And that's the We the Fearless page. Uh, so yeah, it's just
Is that on
something a
Facebook?
little different. I don't need no jazz. Yeah, on Facebook. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it's a safe zone. It's not for nobody to judge you on there. If it is, you're going to be gone off the page. It's just for people to just community. It's not about paranormal. It's just about facing your fears and you know seeing who else has the same fears you do, and you can come together and figure it out together on how to overcome those fears and struggles you have in life. I mean, because no matter who you are, you got some kind of struggle or fear in life. But it's just a good platform to be able to go on there and talk it out with other people because there's always somebody that experienced the same thing that you are. And sometimes
Yeah.
it takes more than just yourself to be able to do something. And that way you can discuss it with others that are in that same position.
Sure. Yep, that makes sense.
Yep.
So, Doogie, you got some other events coming up here soon, or do anything at all, or some appearances you're making?
Uh, yeah. I've kind of toned down my guess you call appearances. I had to get out a couple here. Uh, you know, they're around Christmas and stuff, Vegas and different ones, because we had a bout with COVID in my family, and that's not something that I want to go through again. We do our little small events. We got one coming up at the end of this month at the Old Stone Jail in Franklin, Kentucky. Amazing, 3 locations. I think we're down to like 5 tickets. It's going to be a great time. We just had a sold out event at Octagon Hall. That's another great place. We've just grown to like those guys up there. Bear, uh, EBG. All those folks are up there just amazing. Bill Wilkerson that runs the jail, the Old Stone Jail up there in Franklin, Kentucky, on the square. They've been great to us. They're always at all of our events, helping us out as much as possible. We're just trying to keep it, low scale, do some cool events at some of these smaller venues, and trying to keep it safe. Because we've all had this little round with the COVID, and you know, I was one of those ones that didn't think it was real, but it is, and it hit my family. It hit us pretty hard, and so I'm just keeping my distance with stuff like that, and just I've got the paranormal is still a part of my life, but it's not a big part of my life. So I've kind of toned down doing all that stuff. I've got 2 other businesses I'm running, and that's kind of where I'm putting my focus nowadays.
Nope, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Um, Well, Mike, you better ask your question before we let Doogie go.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah. Let's
forget it
get my
again.
question.
I have to
Yeah.
remind you every time.
Well, this time I was kind of waiting because like where you were trying to get some other questions and stuff in and everything. I didn't want to like, jump in and be like, oh, I got to be all about me asking my question. But yeah, no, I always ask everybody, if you could go to any location, investigate anywhere in the world, where would you go to?
I would actually, and my cousin brought this on. She actually went over to Scotland, and the McDougals have a big presence over there. And there's actually one place that I could go. That would be it to investigate my heritage. Uh, to be able to go investigate a McDougal castle would be like my number one. Check the list. That would
I'm
be.
done.
I think that would be quite
Yeah,
amazing to me.
that'd be cool.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, that'd be the ultimate. Just to get out and do something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
yeah, good deal.
Yeah,
It's
and
been
and
fun
if
having
I
you
if
on.
I if I make enough if I make enough money if I make enough money to do that, I'm taking you two with me.
Hey, I'm
Let's
gonna make sure we
go.
record this. So yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So I got some Irish in my blood. So yeah, my grandparents are from Ireland. They came over on the boat. So yep. So it's yep. We're from that area.
That'd be awesome.
But well, we appreciate you coming on and joining us tonight, and hope to
Heard
run
that.
into you this year
Well, guys,
someplace
thanks
along
for
the way.
having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on and talking to us. It's been fun. So let
Oh
us
yeah,
in
for
the
sure, man. It'd be
episode,
nice
right?
to hang out with you guys again.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's it.
Way to slide it in. Yeah.
We'll have to get something set up at
Let it,
Rhodes so we can
let
all get up there.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
us reconvene at Rhodes Hall.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh
yeah, we
man.
might even have to slip a little salad Ron's way and see if he can join us a little bit, or some lettuce
Yeah.
anyway. So get him
Yeah.
up that way too.
Yeah.
So
I think I
okay.
got a text message from Ron. Well, in the middle of this, I think Ron text messaged me.
Yeah, he knows we're talking about him. So
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he said, "Wow, Ron, love you,
okay.
buddy."
Well, it's been fun having you on, man. It's been a good time. Hopefully we'll see you sometime later this year.
Yeah, for sure, fellas. I appreciate everything, man. I hope to hang out with you
Same
guys
here.
again. We'll have to get out and get some
Yeah.
pizza and lots of big lettuce.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh man.
Okay, Dougie, have a great evening and be safe out there.
All
Have a
right,
good night.
all right. See you guys. Be blessed, fellas.
Yep.
See ya. You too.
Night,
See
brother.
ya.
Well, it was
That
good
was
having him
fun.
on here tonight anyway. So,
Yeah, it was fun.
but
Good time.
well, next week we have let's see, who do you have? Chris Williams.
Chris Williams, yeah.
Yep, she'll be with us next week. So, yep.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. That'll be a good time too. So having Chris
Yeah.
on here and haven't talked to her, I don't think, since Michigan Paracon. So
Yeah, it's been a little
yeah,
while.
it'll be
Yeah.
fun to have her on. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. But
Yeah, it'll be good. Be another fun week. So you guys make sure you tune in. And while go to the YouTube page and follow LLF Radio, and it's got all the episodes, like all the guests that we've had on here. You can go check out all those and subscribe to the page if you guys would. Tell your friends about it.
yep, in my case, that's both of them, and I haven't figured out who the second one is yet. So it used to be Crystal, but after Unity Day and the donut demon person, that's probably not happening anymore. So.
Sister attachments you're friends with now, right?
Yeah. So it's like she's gone. So now I got to find that other friend. So okay, well we're gonna get out of here, and everybody have a good night, and we will be here next week.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
All right. Night, everybody.
Night.
My name is Mike, and I'm the founder of the Lost Limbs Foundation. The Lost Limbs Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides assistance to amputee children in need of prosthetics. I started the charity after my own struggles after my leg being amputated just above the knee. Prosthetics cost thousands of dollars, and the average lifespan is 5 to 7 years on a prosthetic. Kids are constantly growing, so they'll go through multiple prosthetics throughout their life. This is the prosthetic leg that I use, and the cost was about $70,000. The Rhodes Hotel is in Atlanta, Indiana, and is owned and operated by the Lost Limbs Foundation. We are currently doing photo shoots, ghost hunts, and special events to help raise money for the charity. For more information, you can go to lostlimbsfoundation.org. With your help, we can help these kids one step at a time.